Hello, my name is Gabby Parent-Dolliner, and I'm the Director of Water Rangers, and I'm joining you today from the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Chippewa, and Haudenosaunee people. It's such a privilege and honor to be here, as Water Rangers was the first winner of AquaHacking in 2015. And I'm introducing an issue that my fellow water issue leader, Graham Strickert, our community, and my organization works to address every day: improving access to water information. So let's get to it. Many people in Western Canada do not have equal access to information about their water bodies. Individuals and communities, especially in rural areas, have limited ability to access information about drinking water quality, the quality of the water where they fish and recreate, or information about the health of their waters. When people in communities do not have the information they need about the water they drink, the lakes and rivers where they swim and paddle and fish, it has both short and long-term impacts on their health, quality of life, as well as their understanding of the threats to their water bodies and watersheds. And at the same time, technology has come a long way in collecting and sharing water quality information. At every stage of data collection, management, and sharing, we've seen advancements, and there are fantastic examples of social media and communication technologies being used to ensure people have the data they need when they need it. So, how can we improve access to water information for communities by using and augmenting existing communication technologies? And are there new ways we can link to existing social media and communication technologies to support community access to water information? Let's keep that challenge in mind as we look for more closely at the problem. Before I get started, these are the most important types of water information that people need to access in timely, easy to understand formats: the quality of their drinking water, the quality of the water where they swim, fish, paddle, perform ceremonies, essentially where they have physical connections with the water, and finally, the environmental health of their water bodies and watersheds. And I include safety information like floods here. Let's turn our attention now to what the barriers to access to water information can look like and what repercussions these barriers can have on individuals, communities, and water bodies. Many communities, namely rural communities and Indigenous communities, are not able to access and use data that relates to their water quality. Information access is impeded in two major ways. The first is data deficiency. So that means there's an absence of data or insufficient information exists. And the second way information doesn't reach people is due to barriers to access. And there are many obstacles to accessing water information in timely, understandable, and usable formats. In rural Western Canada, a very real issue to access is broadband internet. So about 63% of rural households do not have access to broadband internet connections. Reliable internet access is a constant battle, and even where there is good data available, internet problems are an ever-present obstacle, even though most people do have cell phones. Other barriers include timeliness. So was this water data delivered in time for it to be useful, like weather or your flight information at the airport? This is particularly important for drinking and recreational water quality data that needs to be delivered on time for it to be useful. Other obstacles is the format in which the data is shared. And while I'm a huge champion of open data sets, the ease of understanding the information for it to be useful to make decisions requires that the data be interpretable. So for example, how is someone to understand what the quantity of E. coli per 100 milliliters translates to when it comes to how it could impact their day at the beach or the water coming from their tap? Language barriers also exist, but this is often overlooked. However, English remains the primary language in which information is shared. Problems accessing drinking water quality information evidently has a deep and immediate impacts on people. Health Canada recommends a multi-barrier approach when it comes to understanding and managing risk to drinking water. That means understanding each water supply from its beginning in nature to where it reaches peoples in their homes. This understanding about the water's characteristics, the ways it could become contaminated, and the types of treatment it needs comes from collecting and studying data. In rural areas of Western Canada, tap water supplied to houses is not typically tested for quality and safety with the same intensity as public supplies that serve larger populations. And consequently, rural residents might be at greater risk of exposure to poor quality water and any resulting health impacts. Surveillance data from both public water supplies and private wells and other drinking water sources is imperative. Even where there is data and information available for drinking water, the barriers I described, which range from technology to language, challenge how effectively this information is communicated to people, which can have immediate and long-term health impacts on individuals and communities. Beach monitoring is another example of how poor access to data impedes water literacy and makes it difficult for people to answer even the most basic question: is it safe to swim today? And there are real risks, especially in areas impacted by sewage and stormwater runoff and other water quality issues like cyanobacteria and cyanotoxins. So that's blue-green algae. 60% of Canadians swim at a beach at least once a year, but most people swim at unmonitored or data deficient beaches. And in Western Canada, all provinces, they actually do monitor official beaches, but only Manitoba and British Columbia share results with the public. So that means that for Saskatchewan and Alberta, there are serious data deficiencies. Considering 3 to 8% of people get sick after swimming, access to recreational water quality data is important in protecting their health and safety in the short term. And in the long term, access to information on clean, great places to swim increases quality of life and helps people create important relationships to the waters. My final example is of environmental data, and here I'll focus on data deficiency. According to WWF's 2020 watershed report, Canada's rivers and lakes are divided into 167 sub-watersheds, and 60% of those are data deficient for key health indicators, such as water quality flow, fish, and benthic invertebrates. A lack of comprehensive, open access water data means communities can't fully understand how threats from human activities are impacting freshwater health. This will also make it increasingly difficult to respond and adapt to damages and threats from climate change. Not only is access to water information important in enabling people to protect their health from water quality problems, we need to solve urgent and complex environmental problems, and access to data is holding us back. So your challenge? How can we improve access to information for communities by using and augmenting existing social media and communications technologies? Many advanced technologies already exist, including social media apps, maps, and databases that could be used to connect residents to information. Are there innovative ways to piggyback on the power of these existing technologies with a new technology that provides these links? There are some great examples of effective use of social media and communication technology to share timely, easy to understand water quality information. Health units and community-based monitoring groups are already using social media to share interpreted beach monitoring results quickly and easily, so people can answer that question, is it safe to swim? Increasing the availability, the increase in availability of open water quality data is helping automate the flow of information in creative ways. And social media and communication is also being used to collect more data to address the data gaps and data deficient areas. And this is a powerful tool that is also helping increase community-based monitoring. You can visit initiatives like DataStream and Water Rangers open data portals to see more. Here are just a few references of, related to our topic, but there are many more on both the problem as well as some of the exciting initiatives already underway. So I strongly encourage you to reach out to us as a group for more specific links and references. We challenge you to come up with technological solutions to address the pressing issue of improving access to water information. To do this, think about how you and your group can improve access to water information for communities by using and augmenting existing communication technologies and social media gaps, and thinking of solutions to bridge the gaps. We look forward to working with you on your amazing solutions, and you can register for the 2021 AquaHacking Challenge Western Canada by clicking on the link here or from the AquaHacking website. You can join Graham, Lauren, and I on February 18th for an Ask Me Anything session. Let's get to work. Thank you.